Hello students, good morning to all. Today we will continue lesson 2 internet services, and today we will discuss about the different types of the chat, like the instant messaging and the IRC internet relay chat. So we'll start the discussion from the chat. What is the chat? Chat is the online conversation, and it is more personalized. So writing emails is a time-consuming process as compared to the way of communication in which the users can instantly send messages on the WhatsApp or on the Instagram. So the wonderful way of communication is known as by the wonderful way of communication, sending the messages back and forth to each other is known as online chatting. So in the email, one has to type a email address or a particular a subject of mail, but in chatting, one can write without caring about any syntax. So in chatting, we don't follow any syntax, but for writing the mails, we have to follow some syntax. We have to write the subject, we have to write the recipient's address or sender's address. Okay. So what is the chat room? Another part. Chat room is a part of the online service. Chat room is a part of online service in which we can converse with the people of different category. Like we have a communication with our far away friends, relatives, etc. We converse with the people who share common interest. We talk to the people with the real-time chats with the corporations about their products. Even the fans can chat with the celebrities through the chat session hosted by their sponsors. So first, there are four commonly used types of chat. That is the instant messaging or internet relay chat, ICQ, and web-based chat. Four types of chats are there: instant messaging, internet relay chat, ICQ, or web-based chat. Okay. First, instant messaging. So this instant messaging is shortened to IM or IMING. It is the exchange of near real-time messages through a standalone application or embedded software. It is a communication service, means instant messaging is a communication service over the internet that allows the transmission of text-based messages from sender to receiver instantly. Like online chat, instant messaging offers two-way message exchange in real time. The only difference between the instant messaging and online chat is that in instant messaging, the communication takes place between the known users and includes only those people whom the user has invited. Whereas online chat could happen between the unknown users also, like we are doing the chatting on the YouTube, where many unknowns are there. But to have a chatting with the known people, that is the WhatsApp. Whereas online chat could happen between the known users or the instant messaging. Some popular instant messaging services is the Google Hangouts, Windows Live Messenger, AOL Messenger, IMO, Skype IM, etc. Okay, so this instant messaging differs from email in the immediacy of the message exchange. Instant messaging also tends to be session based, having a start and an end, because instant messaging is intended to mimic in person conversations. Individual messages are often brief. Email, on the other hand, usually reflects a longer form letter writing style. Next is the IRC Internet Relay Chat. Internet Relay Chat is the multi-user, multi-channel chatting system. Internet relay chat allows the people to communicate with each other in the real time through text-based messages. Unlike the older chat system, IRC is not limited to just two participants. More than two participants, you can have the communication in that IRC. It is mainly designed, means IRC is mainly designed for group communication in discussion forums called channels, but also shows one-to-one communication via private messages, as well as the chat and data transfer, including file sharing. Users can start a new chat group or join already any existing group also. So this IRC works on the client server model. To connect with an IRC user, you need to install an IRC client program on your computer. The client program that runs on your computer transfers your messages to another IRC client via IRC server. In the group, the IRC server broadcasts all the messages to everyone participating in the discussion. So the popular IRC clients are the MIRC for Windows, IRCL for the Mac, and IRC2 for the Unix operating system. Next, third chat is the ICQ, and this ICQ is an online communication program that helps the people to chat and send emails and transfer files to each other. It allows us to create a list of your friends, family, and other contacts. It also sends you a notification whenever any of your friends and contacts appear online. To conduct ICQ, you are required to download and install the ICQ software. While downloading the ICQ, you are assigned a unique ICQ number. If you want to search an ICQ, if you want to search on ICQ, supply both the person's name and ICQ number. Next, and the last one is the web-based chat. As the name suggests, a web-based chat is conducted on the web browser and generally provided by the webmail providers such as Google and Facebook. Okay, so next is the video conferencing. So video conferencing, what is the video conferencing? So video conferencing is considered as a phone call with pictures. Video conferencing is a phone call with pictures that allows the multiple people sitting at a geographically different location. So video conferencing is a phone call with pictures that allows the multiple people sitting at different locations to communicate with each other by exchanging video and audio at the same time. Video conferencing involves the use of camera known as webcam and a microphone at the end of each participant to capture the video and audio data. So this video conferencing is mainly used for the virtual meetings among a group of people to discuss the political, business, medical and social affairs. Many popular areas of application of video conferencing are the journalism, where the video conferencing is used majorly, media, education, social affairs, education, tourism and the legal profession. Many a time we see on the television that a program host is interviewing several participants sitting in different cities and countries. So many popular video conferencing softwares are there, tools are there, Skype, Adobe Connect, Ubu, Yugma, Ikiga, IMO. So what are the advantages of the video conferencing? So it has become easier to conduct a corporate meeting between the branches of company that are situated far away. People can work together and share their ideas. No need to visit the places, visit the different branches. A manager can take the meetings by sitting at one place of the branch managers of different branches. Second advantage is more economical means of communication as companies can save on travel and hotel cost. Third one, the meetings can be organized on a short notice as people can easily participate from distant locations. Fourth one, video conferencing increases business productivity. People can readily address problems and facilitate corporation decisions with the company. Next advantage is that students present at the different locations attend lectures and training through the video conference. Last one, it is an excellent way of keeping in touch with the family and friends staying at a distant places. There are some disadvantages are also there of the video conferencing. So what are the disadvantages of the video conferencing? A very reliable and fast connection is needed all the time to conduct the video conferencing. Next, even with a fast connection, there might be a slight delay between the responses that can disrupt the natural flow of conversation. Third disadvantage is the technical or difficulty associated with it, that the software, hardware or network failure, it may disrupt the flow of meeting. High quality dedicated video conference systems are expensive to buy. People could be in different time zones around the world. The chances are that some people may have to stay back during odd hours in the night to attend the meeting. That's the disadvantages. So next is the e-learning, which is called the electronic learning. Now this e-learning means electronic learning. It refers to the wide range of application and processes designed to provide the guidance or deliver the information to students faculties or employees of the companies through electronic means. And the quality of the electronic training depends primarily on the content and its delivery. The study material can contain various types of the media like the audio, text, virtual environments, video, and animation. Users have the advantage of learning in a three-dimensional environment. So, all over the world, yeah, and e-learning, electronic learning can be implemented using an internet connection, a network, and an internet or a storage disk. All over the world, various universities like the Harvard, MIT, and even the IITs have launched programs focused on offering the classes online for free. In India, Gyan Darshan, which is a satellite-based education channel. In India, Gyan Darshan, which is a satellite-based education channel, offers educational programs for a wide range of users such as school kids, college and university students, homemakers, etc. Apart from open and distance learning, mobile learning, e-learning, open education resource, massive open online course are being accepted as the alternative approaches or other methods. So some advantages of the e-learning, that the e-learning saves times and money. With online learning, your learners can access content anywhere and anytime. They don't need to take the time out from their jobs to attend the classes. Second, e-learning is cost effective. Cost effective means e-learning is less expensive as compared to the traditional learning because it reduces the travel cost and the time. Now, by sitting at home, you can take the classes. You have no need to visit the colleges or schools, so you will save your traveling cost. E-learning is self-paced. Self-paced learning modules allows learners to work on their own pace. Means at your own speed you can go through learnings. But in the physical classes you have no control on the teacher's teaching speed. Next is the consistent delivery. The students follow the same course content through e-learning as it eliminates the problems associated with the different instructors teaching slightly different material on the same subject. That is the consistent delivery. E-learning leads to better retention. Modern learners prefer bite-sized interactive content. They would rather watch a video or listen to a podcast than read through pages of manual. E-learning tools enable learning designers to make content interactive. The more engaging the content is, the better the learners remember information. If they enjoy learning, they can able to recall and apply the concepts at work. In face-to-face session, e-learning is consistent. In face-to-face sessions, every instructor has his or her own method of teaching. Each varies in approach and style and is susceptible to mistakes. So you can eliminate the issues with e-learning. Online learning provides the consistent and standardized training every time. Every learner goes through the same experience regardless of when and where he or she takes the course. Next is the flexibility. There is the significant benefit of e-learning. A student can attend the class anytime, anywhere. Education is available whenever it is needed. E-learning delivers teaching material and learning activities in flexible format. You can download the data in the PDF form, PPT form, document form, as well as in the MP4 format. Easy to update. Next advantage, e-learning is easy to update e-learning modules on the server. This process is quicker as compared to the reprinting manuals and returning the instructors. They are easy to update, but in the manual it is difficult to do the changes in the content of the notes. Here the interactive and hands-on. E-learning makes it easier to grasp and retain the information as the learning is through visual modes like graphics, animation, videos, which makes the classes attractive, which create a strong impact on the reader. Unlike classroom learning, e-learning one can reply topics to get a better understanding on the subject. Effectively manageable. E-learning can be used to impart training to a large group of students at a time. It allows a group of people to keep track of the course offerings schedule and track their progress and results. E-learning is scalable. Online learning is scalable means you can roll it out to as many employees as you need, and is a one-time investment. The more learners take the course, the faster you can write off the expenses. E-learning offers personalization. E-learners has the unique preference and learning goals. E-learning makes it possible to cater the individual needs. It allows the learners to choose their learning path and navigate their own pace. Easy to conduct training. E-learning helps in conducting outline training of the employees, such as sales training and safety training, IT training, new product training, etc. It saves the company expenditure on bringing a trainer, renting the space for training, and travel expenses. All this it saves. Along the advantages, there are some disadvantages of the e-learning are also there. First is no control. In traditional classroom or teaching learning methodology, learning of the students is monitored by the teacher. However, in e-learning, there is no direct control of teacher with the students' understanding and the involvement in learning, that how much the students is involved in the learning, how much the student is paying attention in the class. So on that, the teachers has no control. Next is the lack of practical skills. Practical skills are challenged to acquire in an online environment. So the theory classes can be attended by the students online, but the practical class is not possible to conduct online. So practicals are challenging to acquire in an online environment where students can only learn from videos and cannot do practicals for conceptual understanding of the same. Hence, learning is only knowledge based, not application based. Next is the lack of interaction. E-learning does not provide an interactive environment like a classroom. So the interaction between the teachers and student is almost lacking. Lack of authenticity. There is another major problem in the e-learning is there is no authenticity of the students' work. Anyone can do the assignments rather than the actual students. The response can be written, the class can be attended by anyone. There is no authenticity. Dependence on technology. Technology plays a vital role in the e-learning process. The learner requires a computer and internet connection. Without computer, without mobile, without internet connection, one cannot take the services of the e-learning. Okay. Next is the health problem. Next disadvantage is the health problem. Spending a lot of time on the computer can lead to the several physical problems such as the strain on eyes, posture related problems, gaining weight, etc. Okay, so this is all for the today students. In the next class, we'll continue our discussion on e-banking. So thank you for your kind attention.